Hey guys, so this is what I'm running, the RC Mini Plus and the Mini Tune. A lot of people have been asking. It does replace the whole factory ECU. It goes in the hair. You guys should know how to install this if you're buying this. It does connect with one power wire, and that's it. Once you get everything mounted in place, pick a spot. I haven't really finished mounting it yet, but I've been running this for a minute. I turn it on, as you can see. So the big questions were, what can you do with this thing? So display wise, shows your RPM, TPS, all the way, whatever. The narrowband AFR displays on the screen. You can get air temp, engine temp. There's a lot of other things in here that if you really want to know what it is, you get in there, battery and everything like that, but not everyone was going to go for that. So just trying to show you guys some little things that I can show you. So let's go ahead and start the bike. You see RPM. Bike's cold, guys. Narrow band, wide band, two different ones. So you go in here, you guys can adjust the following. So when you go in adjust mode, you have your fuel base, the fuel adjustment for higher, fuel pump acceleration, spark angle, RPM idle, which is your idle RPM you want, your rev limiter, your O2 closed loop, D-cell fuel cuts if you want, for TPS learning, maximum value. You can hit that. You can see whatever your RPM was the highest, engine temp, injector rate, TPS, but you have to check that before you turn the power off for this. To go back, you can read codes, or code you have a check engine light for this. And your map set, it does have a couple maps available. You can have, I think, 4 maps on this right here. But we want to show you guys. I'll go from the start. So your fuel base here. Fuel base is basically when your bike's running on, would be at idle. However, you got to get it to run. You want to adjust this. Basically, you're going to be going in there. It'll go richer, leaner at idle. I want to turn it on, but you guys won't be able to hear me. But you can adjust this up and down to get to your target air fuel at idle, and a pretty good base of where you're going to be at for your fuel settings. Go down one, fuel adjustment. Now you get the high, which is 70% in higher throttle, and low. Oops, sorry guys. And a low of 30%. So 400, 800, all the way out. You guys can go scroll all the way up there to however high you want to go. There's 12,000, 13,000. This goes all the way up, you guys. So 16,400 is if you want to go that high. I don't know if most of you guys will, but that's just at the 30% and lower. Hold it down to go back. Same thing with the high. So it's going to be 400, 800, 1200, 16, and so forth. You can adjust your fuel for those percentages of throttle at that RPM. Now, when the bike is running, you can also be in here to adjust at the same time. So if you're holding it at 9600 RPM, it'll highlight this, and you can adjust while you're on the fly. So whatever RPM it's going to be at, it will show. Go back out, so you guys know what that is. Let's go to spark fuel acceleration. So fuel acceleration is the fuel pump basically putting more fuel sooner. You're increasing the voltage to the pump, what I believe, increasing the fuel for sooner response and to more fine tune. You guys can adjust that too. Spark angle is timing. Now they come at 0. You cannot advance. You can go down in timing, As you can see, you can take timing out, but they have it set to a certain amount of timing. Depends what you're going to do. Again, depends upon your build, your motor, and all that, what you're going to need at whatever RPM. I take out timing toward the top, but you can go at any RPM to take out timing, whatever you're going to need for your, for your tune. It's pretty good. If we go back to the next, idle RPM. So go in there. Target RPM for me is 1376. You can adjust that by going in here, 1392, 1408. So you can adjust the RPM of what you would like at idle. Okay. Go back. RPM limiter. That's what you guys want. Some of you guys want to take some out. You can go 10.5. You can go all the way up 16 something. 16,500, I believe. If you guys want to adjust that, you can. The wideband O2 closed loop, as you guys notice, there's a section where it says 30% and 70%. So there is a middle ground. For closed loop, you can turn it on or off. I go ahead and turn it off for my tuning, my tune, but it's going to be up to you guys. You guys can turn closed loop on or off. You guys should know what that means. If you're in there and trying to go this far, again, this is really not for beginners, but it's more advanced. If you tune this far, you should know what you want. Fuel cut. D-cell fuel cut is basically off throttle fuel. So once you let go of the throttle, you turn the fuel cut on. It won't give any more fuel to the motor. I prefer to leave it on to dump fuel to cool my motor down a little bit. Again, you can do it on or off. It's really up to you. And we go down again. TPS, maximum value, things like that. Map, map set and map switch. So you can go in there and switch the on off, because this, you can add a switch to this also. You can add a switch for more memory, have 8 maps on it, real easy. But this is a real good tune for this bike. It's getting rid of all the piggyback. It makes everything run a lot better. But like I said, it helps you run the bike. No more piggyback ECU. It runs everything way better. It holds the tune better. Your air fuels will never be off that much anymore. It just depends what you want. Like I said, it really does help out with the tune. It runs the bike really well. Before the bike would never really run by itself, but at idle now it runs really good. As you guys can see, air fuel is okay at idle right now. The bike's still warming up a little bit, but you can see if I rev it a bit. Oops. It just needs to warm up more, but you guys get the idea. It is a really good investment if you guys want to go ahead and do something like that for the ECU. I highly recommend it. I don't recommend using some kind of auto tune. If you go this far, you're going to be a tuner. You're going to want to tune this on a dyno to get max power. I've tuned this on a dyno. I've got this on 2 other bikes in the Bay Area right now that are running really well. Get this. I didn't get the associated wideband for this kit because I already had this prior to buying this kit. Now I recommend getting everything, which is the ECU, the handheld tuner, which now comes with it together. But go ahead and add the wideband because you guys are going to need that to tune the bike to get it running really well. It does have an auto tune feature, but I really told you guys don't use that. Try to use that just for if you're going to a different area, like out of state, you guys are going somewhere, then go ahead and turn it on so you can get back to your target air free ratio, so you guys can get, a ride in somewhere else and not have to really tune that much. But tuning on the fly, like I said, we'll turn it back on, start the bike, it is winter, so I'll go ahead and open the garage too. It's really cold out. Did you guys get the idea? Good air fuel at idle. Holds really good. And like I said, if you can go in here, get the adjust mode, go in, like the fuel base, I'll show you. Go in there. If I go ahead and turn it down, see how rigid, see? It gets real lean. My bike can't use that. I gotta go back up. It'll come right back. On the fly tuning, you guys. Definitely worth it. Pick it up from State Garage, where I get all my stuff done. I go there and, you know, tune over there all the time. They always have all the great parts. This is what you want to be. So go ahead and get that. Like I said, if you want to tune, adjust mode. Go down to fuel adjustment. You'll see it's 30% lower because we're at idle. And the active RPM right now is 1300, so you can move over to about 1300, 1600, 1200. And you can adjust this on the fly right now. So when you're riding a bike and you guys are moving, you guys can hold that at a certain RPM. As you guys can see, it flashes the gauge where you're at. So when you're holding it at RPM while riding, you guys can go up or down with fuel trims to get exactly where you want to be for your tune, for your power, and everything. So this is going to be something you guys really look forward to, you know, for tuning. It's just something really good investment for the mini tune. Whoever's really serious, you know, you guys got the big board and everything like that. You guys can go ahead and do that. This is my bike, you know, BC, with the 218 Finbro motor. You know, it's been running really well. I've tested a lot of different motors for Finbro. We've gone through a lot of motors. The 218 right now for me is holding really well. It's 2-valve setup, but you guys can tell it's cold. You can see my breath. But it's something that if you really want to mess around with your grom and go ahead and get this RC Mini tune, get your bike tuned up really well, get on some good rides, and it makes a big difference. Because I've had every other tuner out there and they work okay, but hands down this is the best one. It's a little more pricey, but if you're doing this kind of mods, you know, to your bike, you guys want to go ahead and do this. So that's my highly recommendation. RC Mini Tune, the Mini Plus 2, which is out now. Pick it up from Steady Garage, like I said. Yeah, that's my bike, and that's this little demo for that RC Mini. All right.